Hello everybody and welcome to this video preview where we are going to be talking about what GW has just put out onto Warcom. I know I'm a little bit behind, and if you're a resident of YouTube or whatever, you've likely seen Auspex Tactics talking about it or whatever. I even saw somebody on Facebook being like, we don't need any other sources of news, so I've already been down to the Go Fuck Myself store and I picked up something nice, but I figured I'd make the video anyway, you know, just see what I can dabble in. But as always, I'll be giving a perspective from a highly ranked competitive player, and I'll also be looking at, once the codex drops, I'll be getting some other competitive players to come on and talk and get their opinions, including our rank 1 Kyle Grundy, which I have loved making some content with him. Before we get into the video, just a quick word from this video sponsor, which is me. We are running yet another raffle to help to pay off the terrain that we've invested into for our events, and we're offering some very, very cool stuff for the first, second, and third prize. This is open to Australians and to internationals, with the main first prize being your chance to win either a 2-hour coaching session with me or a full game played live on Tabletop Simulator from wherever you are in the world. If you are an Australian and you are anywhere near New South Wales or you're willing to travel, get a free ticket to any event that I am running, be it a GT, if I end up running a major, or one of the teams tournaments that we are definitely going to be running in the future. Those are all options that you can take, as well as the 2 Chaos Space Marines Joy Toys you can see just over to my right there. And that is just the first prize. Second place and third place have their own set of awesome, awesome prizes. There are details on the website. Head to the link in the description where you can go to my website, panthenstudios.com.au, pick yourself up some tickets. We will be drawing live in 4 days. On stream, Chelsea and I had a lot of fun doing that last time. We'll jump on again, draw the winners, have a bit of fun with the community. I really hope that you'll be able to join us. Thank you to everybody who has supported me so far. And let's get into talking about these beautiful suits. Here we are on the Warcom article. Now, let's put a couple of caveats in front of this video because it always comes up. The first thing that I want to talk about is that this is a set of reveals. This is not a codex. We do not have the entire picture. There is still so much more to come. Anybody that is making up their mind or making wild claims about what's going to be good, what's not going to be good, we have no idea. We are going to talk about this through the lens that a competitive player looks at it, which is working with the information we've got to slowly build a picture and get ourselves ready for when the codex comes out. Because unfortunately, I am not a big enough YouTuber yet to get pre-stuff from GW, but feel free to pressure them for me. I appreciate it. But anyway, the other thing that I want to talk about is that we are going to give some impressions, but all of this is my opinion. This is not fact. Nobody should speak as if their opinion is fact. I am going to give you my first impressions and my opinion, and if you are either looking for that competitive side of it or you are just a fan of me, you are opting in for a subjective view. So, with that said, let's have a look at the article. Obviously, I've already had a read through it. The new Kroot from the previous articles look amazing. I love that they put an Enforcer here, or maybe a Crisis Suit front and center. Actually, well, hey, hang on a minute. AFP on a Crisis base. This has got to be an Enforcer, right? But anyway, let's get into it. So, Retaliation Cadre is the thing that they have been sort of showing off. And I think it's really, really smart of GW to do a Battlesuit-focused detachment for the reveals for the Codex, because Battlesuits, let's face it, is what a lot of us opted into when we were looking at this army. You do have people that love the Kroot and the other auxiliaries. You have some people that are into the Ethereals for some reason, you absolute weirdos. But let's face it, most people are in it for the suits. And, you know, if you're someone like me, it's not like everybody goes, oh, it's anime, it's Gundam. I was never into that stuff, really. I just loved the look of them, loved the lore of them, and let's face it, we got into it for the railguns. Jay, in post, put up our railgun emote that Beal did for us. Which also, quick shout out, Beal resubbed during my chat with Kyle last night, and I completely missed the notification. Beal, love you, dude. Thank you so much. All right, so let's talk about the detachment rule that's coming with us, and I'm still curious to see if they do a Montcar detachment, because obviously we have Kaoyun and Montcar is the other one, though there is a third tactical philosophy that wasn't in 9th but exists within Tau lore. It'd be kind of cool if we got one of those as a detachment, but I don't know if we're going to. But anyway, bonded heroes. Each time a Tau Empire battlesuit model from your army makes a range attack that targets a unit within 12. And the first thing I'll point out here, this got done a lot during 9th. It is not the unit being within 12. It is model by model. The model must be within 12 of whoever they're targeting. So don't get that right off the outset. That is just a wording thing, but we can see that straight up. Improve the strength characteristic of that attack by 1. If that attack targets a unit within 6, improve the armor penetration characteristic of that attack by 1 as well. Now, if we were to just drop this into the current index with nothing else, you'd go, meh, when is that really going to be used? Yeah, you'd use it against like chargy armies, but I don't want my crisis suits sitting that close. Well, we got a couple of other things. First and foremost, the shortened blade. During your movement phase, unit that is arriving using the Deep Strike ability. Remember, Deep Strike, not Strat Reserve, just Deep Strike. Your unit can be set up anywhere on the battlefield that is more than 3 inches horizontally away from all enemy models. A unit targeted with this stratagem cannot charge. That makes total sense. 2 CP, this is a big investment, but a 3-inch Deep Strike with that detachment rule takes a lot of... And we haven't even seen a weapon profile, but I would put Strength 5 AP1 Flamers into somebody at that range if they're just running infantry. So very, very cool. We'll see if there's any other stuff that we can synergize with this. I love that they gave us a 3-inch Deep Strike. It really plays into the feel of Crisis Suits rather than being a long-range standoff unit, which we've been using to move up, strike and fade, move up, strike and fade. This is a drop in your face, unload everything, and for some armies, this will be, okay, can you stat check me? Depending on what access to support systems and everything else we have. But anyway, then we've also got the Torch Star Gambit, which you will just read as strike and fade for 1 CP. Your shooting phase, 1 Tau Empire battlesuit unit from your army that can fly, whose attacks have been resolved this phase. If it's not within engagement range of 1 or more enemy units, it can make a normal move. If it does, your unit cannot declare a charge. That also 100% makes sense. And they even say in the little blurb here, that you use Shortened Blade and then you Torch Star Gambit. So you can bring people within 3, blow up everything on, say, an objective that thought that they were safe, and then move on to the objective and take it. Really, really keen to see what the Crisis Suits get for their keywords. But let's move on to them, because we are looking at the Crisis Battlesuit unit that we know that we love getting split into 3 separate data sheets. We are getting the Lehman Russ treatment. We are getting, and they actually say that in the thing, the Lehman Russ and the Gladiator across different data sheets. But they will have semi-locked loadouts from as far as I can see. The Fire Knife gets access to, it says, a combination of either plasma or missile pods, which... take that for what you will. We haven't seen actual rules, but that lends to that you might not just be locked into only plasma or only missile pods. The Sunforge get to take fusion blasters, and the Star Scythe get to take either burst cannons or flamers. Now, they also showed off for the Sunforge their datasheet ability. They won't have Auto Advance 6 like they've got in the 10th Index, and I would actually be surprised if these guys keep that. Maybe someone like the Star Scythe, because they actually want to be close, they might get the Auto Advance and maybe get Assault, or you pair them with a Cold Star, which we see later is keeping its +2 move and its Assault keyword. But Sunforges, the Fusion Blasters, every time they make a ranged attack that targets a monster or a vehicle unit, you can re-roll the wound roll and you can re-roll the damage roll, fixing some of the problems that we have with Fusion Blasters in the current edition. And when we look at, they likely won't be giving us 18-inch range back. They'll probably stay at 12. Take that with a grain of salt. I'm not working with forward information, just putting things together and using a little bit of intuition. That means that you come up within 3, pop them, you're within melter range, you're re-rolling the wound roll and the damage roll to try and get a lot out of these. Now, given that these 3 and the weapons that we've seen, as far as we know, this means that Crisis Suits won't be taking airbursting fragmentation projectors or cyclic ion blasters. As they've said, we're getting 3 data sheets. I doubt that there is a 4th hanging around for us to get, and these will likely go to commanders. Everybody kind of saw this coming because cyclics and I believe AFPs don't actually come in the Crisis Suit box. You needed commander boxes to do it. So if they've had a trend across 40k and they have been doing this to only include weapon options for things that actually come in the box, which, let's face it, is actually good for us as consumers. I know people can be upset about that because they liked the cyclics or whatever, but if we only have to buy the boxes and then cool, I've got everything I need, you are spending less on an already really expensive hobby. So Sunfor is doing that is incredible. Same data sheet more than 3 times, as long as they're not battle line, which is these 2 stars. It means that we don't know the bricks that we can take them in. If we still take them in 3 to 6, there is a chance maybe that you're taking 54 suits or something. My gut's telling me that we're going to be restricted to 3-mans. Don't quote me on that. Take that with as much salt as you need. Intuition in my gut is telling me that that's going to be the case, or there will be an additional restriction on the 6-man. But I might be absolutely wrong. And you know what? Little part of me thinks that it'd be really fucking cool if we were able to take that many suits and have a crisis-based list that just bangs and slaps. And yeah, the crisis suit's going to die, but you got plenty of them coming through. That almost gives Tau a little bit of a stat check army that they can play, which would be kind of cool. I don't want to get my hopes up, but if that happens, I will actually love that. Anyway, we then have the Enforce Commander and the Cold Star Commander. They are both keeping their current data sheet abilities. We know nothing else about them. Literally nothing else about them. But the Enforcer will give worsen armor penetration by 1. Cold Star will give move characteristic for 12 and ranged assaults. Ranged weapons equipped by them have the assault keyword. Notice that the Crisis Commander is not mentioned. Again, intuition, I get the feeling that our Crisis Commander is going to Legends. With all of this, that is the end of it. I want to say a few things. First off, GW, you beautiful sons of bitches, you did it. Even just as a reveal, and I know I said before it's not the entire picture, and remember, I'm not talking as if I have the entire picture. But having Fire Knives and Sunforges and Star Size, that sounds so fucking cool. If I could say to somebody, all right, I'm about to Star Scythe you. Somebody that, only knew 9th Tower or early 10th Tower is going to be like, what? And then, with the sheer amount of output that we have, you watch the light leave their eyes and the So, the naming conventions, I love. I'm such a fan of. And it does feel like Tau naming. I kind of really love that. The second is that I love that they have shown a cohesive set of things that you can use together to let people know that there is cool stuff coming. And this isn't everything that we're going to get. I cannot say that enough. This is very powerful. 2 CP for Shortened Blade, 1 CP for Torch Star Gambit. And we haven't even seen if we've got CP generation, free stratagems, any of that sort of stuff. Now, both of these are strategic ploys, so it's likely we won't be able to make them free unless we have an ability which specifically states that we will be able to use them for free. I doubt that we get that because that's always a balancing point for Tau that, we have very good stratagems, but you need to pay for them. But I'm really, really keen to see what comes next. This is really, really cool. Even just a 1 CP Fire and Fade is just so nice. I do not like in the current edition paying 2 CP in the Cao Yun detachment to Fire and Fade. So that is really, really cool. And I can see how this is balanced where this is the big expenditure because it is such a powerful ability. And then, just having little things like, hey, we're giving you a datasheet ability, which adds to, even though we're locking you to these fusion blasters, we are giving you the means to make them incredibly efficient with reroll wounds and reroll damage. I love that. Absolutely love that. These guys, honestly, there's a part of me that's glad they didn't change. The Enforcer, I think, could use something better. But if we're going into, let's say, all right, stay with me. My initial gut reaction and my intuition is wrong. And we are able to run all Crisis Suits for 2,000 points and commanders going with them. And you have Enforcer commanders because you couldn't possibly fill out all those units with Cold Stars Cool, no problem. So we've got 3 that are super fast and zippy. We've got those on like the burst cannons and the flamers and whatever to get in people's face. Maybe we do it with the, the plasma and the missile pod guys so that we can fire and fade effectively and use their, advancing and shooting and then getting back behind cover. And then we got enforcers for when we go, okay, cool, I'm dropping fusions or I'm dropping a full flamer unit or whatever. If you try and kill me in retaliation, I'm -1 AP. And then if they can't ignore cover, that is functionally -2 AP. I don't know that it's all going to go like that, but when I start building the picture in my head, that becomes a really, really cool concept. Really cool concept. And thank you, GW, for giving us a reveal that is honestly really easy to get excited about. I'm really, really keen to see what comes next. And I said it with the Creep Box, but GW have been knocking it out of the fucking park with these reveals. I have been so impressed with what they've been doing. And all of you know, if you've been watching any of my content, I'm not afraid to be critical of GW, but I will give them credit where credit is due. And credit is due. You can see it on my face. I love my suits. I love my crisis suits, my commanders, all that sort of stuff. And this will extend to things like Riptides and Ghost Kills or whatever. You get them close. And I had somebody in my Discord point this out. I believe it was Masu, maybe? I'll go back and I'll double check. But you have a Ghost Kill forward deploy because they will probably keep Infiltrate. I hope that they do. And they run into somebody's face and they get +1 strength and -1 AP. They're hitting somebody with a strength 13 Fusion Blaster with AP 5. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. Riptide gets close enough. You've got a strength 9 gun if they change nothing about it. Going on the assumption that nothing changes, though I think they will change things. But right now, using this strength 9 on our gun, which is such a good break point for hitting rhinos and transports and all that sort of stuff, or even our own humble devilfish. And then -1 AP to put it to AP 4. That's some good stuff. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do the internet things and like and share and all that sort of stuff. Or don't. I'm not your dad. Don't forget to get your raffle tickets. You have 4 days remaining before we will draw it live on stream. I want to thank everybody who is supporting me. This channel is kind of exploding a little bit and I kind of love it. And I am a little bit humbled and a little bit, but yeah, thank you so much to everybody. I really appreciate all of you, Shas. And I'll see you in the next one.